Hi, welcome to a video by Jim the Mechanic. We're going to be changing the tie rod end on this particular car here. This is the replacement tie rod end. We're going to take this one off. We're going to put this one on because this one is no good on the end right here. This is a Pontiac, by the way, and they're basically all the same. What we're going to do is we're going to take this nut off on the bottom right here. We're going to loosen this nut up right here in the back. The nut is actually what locks this in place right here. The nut goes into the back like this, and it locks it on there, and it keeps it from moving. So we're going to be loosening this up first, and then we're going to take this out over here. We're going to rotate this off, and we're going to count how many times we turn it to take it off. Alright, so first thing we're going to do before we do anything is we're going to spray with some penetrating oil so everything comes off a little bit easier. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to loosen up that nut on the inside right here. Sometimes they can be pretty tight. You'll need to put a wrench on it, and then you just hit it a couple of times just to break it loose. You hit it one good shot, two good shots, and it loosens it right up. Now we're not going to take this nut off. We just loosen the nut so that it's able to move, but it's not coming out. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take off this here, this nut that goes through the lower knuckle. This is actually a 18mm nut. So if you have a wrench, you can take it off with a wrench, or if you have air-powered tools, you can take it off with an air-powered tool. I'm going to use air just to make it go a little bit quicker. Now if you didn't have air, obviously you would just go on here with a socket, and then you would remove it with that socket. Now if you were trying to take it off and this whole shaft was spinning, you hold the bottom right here with a wrench so it doesn't turn. Now once you have that out, there's a special tool they make to remove this tie rod end from the knuckle. But I'm going to show you how to do it without using that. You just take a hammer and you hit it a couple of times right here, and this tie rod end will just pop up. So let me do that, and you can watch what I'm doing. Now you're hitting the knuckle portion. You're not hitting the tie rod end itself, and you're never going to hit it from the bottom up like this, because you'll mushroom this, and then you won't get it through the knuckle. So we're just going to hit it here a couple of times and we'll have it pop loose. So let me do that. And it pops right out. Now what you do is when you take this off, you count how many revolutions you take it off, and you're going to put it back on the same amount. And we will have to have the alignment checked anyway. "16 turns to get it off." So now we're going to put it back on the new one, and this is, you can see here, this is pretty much had it. Plus there's a lot of play in this joint too. So now we're going to put the replacement back on. Now remember, you want to lubricate that with any kind of oil or penetrating oil, whatever you have, just so it turns on a lot easier. And then we're going to turn this back on. And then we're going to take this cover. This is just a cover that's on here just to protect the rubber. And you put this through here, like that. Now this one comes with a This one has a washer that goes underneath there, and the reason you have the washer is because you have This is made of aluminum. If you put just this nut on there, it's going to eat into the aluminum. This actually keeps it from eating too far into the aluminum. You just screw it on as far as you can by hand. And then you can tighten it up with a wrench until the cotter pin lines up with the crown nut. Of course, you're going to make it tight. And then you just make sure it lines up with your cotter pin. It doesn't, so we're going to tighten it just a little bit more so we line up the cotter pin. Put the cotter pin through, and then you bend the cotter pin all the way around, like that. And the next thing we're going to do is we have to just tighten up that nut on the inside that we previously loosened. And then you can just tighten it up just a little bit more. And it's nice and tight. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Let me just show you again what it looks like. Right, we put this through the knuckle here. We put that little washer down on the bottom. We tightened up that nut and put our cotter pin through it. We screwed it back in the amount of revolutions that we took it out, and then we tightened up this nut. And that's it, we're all set. All right, so we're just going to go to the other side, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side, and it'll be all finished. All right, take your time. If you have any questions or anything, you can send me an email. I'll be more than happy to talk to you about anything. All right, now remember, you will have to have the alignment reset on the car because it's going to be off just a little bit. All right, don't forget, subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching.